Alright guys, so we're back today, and yesterday we had the NBA draft, and so I'm going to be making a video basically recapping the first round, and we might even do a second round one coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. But my little baby brother is here doing this video with us, so if you guys hear him talking, he's sitting right here beside me in his little chair. And so if you guys hear him talking, say hello. Alright, so we're going to start it off with, I guess we'll go bottom to top. At the last pick in the draft, in the first round of the draft was Baylor Sodaman. I don't know, Shawtier, man. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I heard it last night in the draft, and Adam Silver did a good way of pronouncing it, but I ain't got no clue. I mean, I think that's a good pickup for them. They were talking about how he was a good guard, stretch wing. And so, I mean, the Celtics are good already, so more likely he's just going to play in the G League. Next up, the Utah Jazz selected Isaiah Collier. Isaiah Collier was a player at the beginning of the college season last year that everybody thought was going to go #1 overall or in the top 5. And he ended up falling this far. And still last night, people thought he would go a little bit outside the lottery or maybe at that number 15 pick. I think I put him at the 15th pick in my mock draft that I did a few days ago. If you guys haven't checked that out, if you guys haven't checked that out, go look at that. But he's a good player at USC, just didn't have the best year. I feel like everybody at USC didn't have the best year. Bronny James was also projected to go high, and he went to USC. So he'll probably go tonight to somebody. It'll be interesting to see where he goes to. All right, so with the number 28 pick, the Denver Nuggets selected Ryan Dunn, but they traded him to Phoenix. So I don't know much about Ryan Dunn. All I can tell you is he's a 6'6" guard, 214 pounds, and he went to Virginia. I have not heard nothing ever about him. And I was kind of shocked when they took him. So, but there was no huge trades that happened last night, and that's kind of what made me mad. Unless something has happened past midnight to now while I'm filming this, because I haven't looked at anything. So it'll be interesting. Maybe something did happen. Yeah. He's like, I want to end the video. All right, but with the number 27th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves selected Terrence Shannon Jr. from Illinois. I'm going to tell you this again, guys. I have no clue who he is. Good luck to Terrence Shannon Jr. I feel like some of these players that were late first-round picks, that I have no clue who they are. I figured they'd go in the second round. But with the number 26 pick, the Washington Wizards selected Dylan Jones, but they traded him to the Oklahoma City Thunder via the New York Knicks pick. I don't know. He went to Weber State, got no clue who he is too. But like Kyle Filipowski, he shouldn't have fell as far as he did. In my opinion, if I was like the Celtics, I would have took him. But I don't know. To have like a backup center, because Al's gone, more than likely. In my opinion, if I was Al, I'm retiring. But I don't know. All right, so with the number 25 pick, the New York Knicks select Malcolm Dadier. They were actually talking about how he was a good player in France, how he could get down the floor, defend, and shoot the ball. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, that was last night really late. I had never heard anything about him. The New York Knicks, at the 24th pick, selected Keyshawn George. Now, I have heard about him, and Kentucky played against him last year. He was a good player, but they traded him to Washington. So, the Bucks selected A.J. Johnson. I'm only going to talk about the ones that I really know. Okay, the Phoenix Suns selected Day'Ron Holmes, but they traded him to Denver. I know about Day'Ron Holmes. He is a really good power forward / small forward. He is really like skinny. I'm probably just saying that because I've seen his weight, and it's 236 to be a power forward, because like the guards are 236. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does in Denver. I'm not even going to do that. Well, I guess I will. All right, the number 21 pick, the New Orleans Pelicans selected. I'm only going to say the best way that I can say his last name because I'm not even going to try to say his first name. It's Missy. That's all I'm going to say. He's from Baylor, a center. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. The Cleveland Cavaliers selected Jalen Tyson, forward from California. So, to be honest, I don't know nothing about these players right now. But I do know about this next guy. And the Toronto Raptors selected Jacoby Walter, guard from Baylor. Jacoby is a really good guard. He was also like higher up in some draft projections. I might even have had him in my lottery, but I'm not sure if I did. But he is a good player to fall into the Raptors, and I think they got a good player right there. All right, the Orlando Magic selected Tristan de Saliva, forward from Colorado. I don't know much about him. I only know one player from Colorado, and that is Cody Williams. And I think we will be getting to him pretty soon. Yeah, we will. All right, with the number 17th pick, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Dalton Knecht. Now, I know a lot about Dalton Knecht because I'm a SEC fan, as you can tell from this shirt. And that means that Tennessee is one of our biggest rivals. And that's where Dalton played college ball at. Well, 1 year of college ball. Nobody knew who Dalton Knecht was until he came to Tennessee last year and was a really good player. He could shoot the lights out, which made me mad. He dropped 40 against Kentucky, but he also shot 60, I think, shots. So, like, if I went and chucked up 60 shots in a game, I'm getting 40 points. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a good player, and I'm not trying to hate on Dalton Knecht just because he was a Tennessee guy. That's about the only reason I would hate on him. But, I mean, he is a good player. We all got to admit it. I kind of thought that the Lakers were going to draft Bronny right there at 17 just to keep LeBron, but they didn't end up doing it, so it's great for Lakers fans. All right, with the number 16th pick, the Philadelphia 76ers selected Jared McClain from Duke. McClain or McCain? Sorry, Jared McCain. He is a good guard out of Duke. He's very controversial. I hope I said that right. But yeah, he's a little different. But I mean, I think they got a good guard to go with Tyrese Maxey right there. They can develop him, or even use him in a trade to get somebody like Paul George in a sign and trade that they want. So yeah. The Miami Heat select Kelly Ware, center from Indiana. Now I watched some stuff on him. He can stretch the floor. Yeah, I don't really remember nothing I watched. But they did show some videos on him at the draft. I had never heard of him before that. I just know that he played with Trace Jackson Davis, and that's what made me think he might be a pretty good player. With the number 14th pick, the Portland Trailblazers selected Cortland Carrington. Traded to Washington. I almost sneezed there. He's a guard from Pittsburgh. Okay, this is like one of the only players in the lottery that I have no clue who he is. And that was very interesting because I would have thought that Jared McCain or Dalton Knecht or even Jacoby Walter would have went up there with him. But they didn't. All right, next up, we have the Sacramento Kings selecting Devin Carter, guard from Providence. You're being such a good boy, you know that? You ain't crying at all. You letting Bubby film this video? Yeah, I know. He's smiling at me. But anyways, they selected Devin Carter, guard from Providence. He is a really good guard. I didn't think that he would go that high up, but maybe that they can use him as a backup for De'Aaron Fox. You never know. We'll see. Okay, with the number 12 pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder selected Nikola Topic. Now, I didn't think that they would select Topic. I thought with the Spurs, I think it was 8 overall pick, I thought that they would select Topic there. And then, but the player I'm glad that they didn't, because the player that they picked is somebody that I'm pretty fond of. But anyways, so Nikola Topic is a good guard who can pass the ball, handle the ball, and he can also score. He is a 6'6" guard, which is pretty good, but he is also really skinny with only 190 pounds. All right, number 11, the Chicago Bulls. Hey, buddy. He's getting mad now. Number 11, the Chicago Bulls selected Matez Buzelis, forward from the G League Ignite. Now, Tyler, this is his team, and that is the player that he was wanting them to select. He was a good stretch forward in the G League Ignite, and that's about all I could tell you about it. I just know that he was a good player. Alright, but now, number 10, the Utah Jazz selected Cody Williams, forward from Colorado. Now, Cody's brother is Jalen Williams, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And he said, now, my brother is one that's going to box you out and hit you and use his elbows. Bless you. But now my game is smooth. When I get the ball, I'm going through people and get to the hole. I ain't going to hit you. I'm just going straight through you and around you. Is that right? Now he wants in the video. All right, with the number 9 pick, the Memphis. I know. All right, now with the number 9 pick, the Memphis Grizzlies selected Zach Edey, center from Purdue. Now, Edey will be somebody that can play with Jaren Jackson Jr. They got rid of Steven Adams, so now they needed a new center. And I think for right now, this season, he could probably sit on the bench unless that they really needed him to come in. I hope that Ja gets his mind straight, because that is one of the funnest teams to watch in the NBA when they are healthy. I watched that first game last year when Ja came back against the Pelicans, and he went crazy and had the game-winning shot. And that was the best game ever, in my opinion, for somebody to come back from an injury. All right, now, the Spurs didn't actually keep this player, but he is a Kentucky guy. With the number 8 pick, the San Antonio Spurs selected Rob Dillingham, but they traded him to Minnesota. That trade package wasn't huge. It was a bunch of picks for Rob Dillingham. Minnesota, Mike Conley's going to retire soon. So if he has to, he can play with Anthony Edwards on that, because he's a shooting guard. He isn't a full point guard. So, I mean, in my opinion, Rob can get to the hole. He can shoot the ball. He's not always consistent, but he loves to shoot the ball. And when he gets hot, he's going to shoot the ball. When he's cold, he's going to sling it. So, that's one thing that made me mad about him at Kentucky, but, hey, it's all right. He's gone now. And Cal's gone. It made me so mad that Cal was there last night. Because, especially for Reed Shepherd, I wouldn't have wanted near him, because he's a Kentucky guy. Yeah. He's trying to talk to me. Number 7 pick, the Portland Trailblazers selected Donovan Clingan, center from Connecticut. So Clingan is a good 5. He can get down the court. He can score the ball. He can dunk the ball. I mean, he is the piece that the Trailblazers needed. And where that they picked him up, that makes me wonder if they're going to get rid of DeAndre Ayton in a trade, or if they're going to keep him. You never know. They might be able to play together. Okay, with the number 6 pick, the Charlotte Hornets selected... Annabelle's coming down here to get the baby. The Charlotte Hornets selected Tajon Salon, forward from... Okay, I'm not even going to try to say where he's from. But... Yeah. I'm not even going to try to say where he's from. Well, but I'll try it. Charlotte Basket, France. Okay, so I know a little bit about this player. I know he's a good 4. He's about 6'9", 207. That's how much he weighs. To be honest, I've heard of the name. I don't know how he plays at all. I bet you guys are thinking that, like, you don't know nothing about none of these players, but I know about every lottery player except for him and that one other guy. So now we have Ron Holland, forward from the G League Ignite. The Detroit Pistons drafted him. Okay, Ron Holland is a really good player. Can score the ball, can defend, and I do know about him. That is one player I do know about, guys. I didn't realize I didn't know that much about all these players. But this is one that shocked me. Well, it really didn't shock me. It kind of shocked me because what they ended up doing after it. But the San Antonio Spurs selected Stephon Castle, guard from Connecticut that can score, can defend. Stephon is a good player. But they ended up taking another guard in Rob Dillingham, and that was very interesting to me. But they ended up trading him. So maybe the trade was worked out to where they were going to end up definitely doing it. That's why they took him. With the number 3 pick, the Houston Rockets selected my guy, Reed Sheppard. And Reed is a guard from Kentucky. He is 6'2", 182 pounds. Now, Reed is one that will hustle after the ball. He's one that will defend. And he is one that can shoot the lights out. I'm telling you. He was probably the most consistent player on Kentucky last year. Of course, the last game we played, he had a terrible game, but who cares about that? I mean, it wasn't just him. If he would have had a great game, we wouldn't have won. Everybody was just flat. But I'm not hating on Reed for that game. I might have back then, that like at the end of the season in the NCAA tournament, I might have hated on him a little bit. But Reed's my guy. Let me get something here real quick. Reed's my guy. Reed's also my guy. So, I mean, Reed is a great player, and I hope that he does great in the NBA. And Tyler, I talked to him last night, and he goes, I might be a Houston Rockets fan. And I said, I might too if the Warriors do nothing this offseason. So that'll be a fun video, because right now it's looking like there's going to be a bunch of trades happening in the offseason. And it's going to be fun talking to you guys about them trades. With the number 2 overall pick, the Washington Wizards selected Alexander Sarr. Alex Sarr. But forward from Perth, Australia, France. Or he's from France. He played for Perth, Australia. So, Sarr cannot shoot the ball. He can get to the hole and body you. He can also play defense, but that is one thing he has not unlocked, is the ability to shoot the ball. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's the best player that the Wizards could have took, unless they went ahead and took Reed Sheppard right there. But that was the best available pick for them. I mean, the Wizards are just one that had to go for the best available pick. And number 1 overall, the Atlanta Hawks selected Zachary Rissochet, forward from France. And Rissochet is one that is a forward, so he's not a center like Alex Sarr. But he can shoot the ball, get to the hole, and he can defend. He can shoot way better than Sarr. I think he had like a 40% three-point percentage. So, I mean, that's not bad. Reed had a 54, I'm pretty sure. So, I think he had the best three-point percentage in it, more than likely. So, just the best player that they possibly could have took right there. I mean, it was a throw-up between, or a toss-up between Alex Sarr and Zachary Rissochet. But at the same time, the Hawks already have Clint Capella as their center. And so just go ahead and take Zachary Rissochet. It'll be fun to watch the Hawks and see what they do this offseason, if they don't move and if they're still good next year. But I hope you guys like this video. And if you hadn't watched the draft, I hope that you learned a little bit about some of the players that I knew about. All right, see ya.